issues today, I'm afraid. can't bowl anything that can drag the ball over that long on position. So wide Yorker maybe, as Archer comes towards Hafiz, and it's a quick delivery outside of off stump, and Hafiz tried to uppercut it, maybe over backward point, doesn't connect, and through it goes to Butler.
Yeah, it's quite interesting because, you know, if you looked at Jofra Archer's games in the series, he didn't play that many, but he really wasn't ever under this kind of pressure. You know, when he came on at the back end and were winning the game, you can see now the communication between he and Owen Morgan, it's not in absolute sync, because they've not been in this position before. Owen's looking at him and he's looking at Owen. Now mid-off, comes into the circle, long on, goes back on the boundary.
Archer, passed on by Erasmus, bowls, and this is pulled awkwardly by Hafiz, gets it high on the bat, even maybe a touch of glove on it, out it goes to Bairstow, a deep backward square. Another single picked up, but a tidy over actually from Jofra Archer. Just, yes, the boundary conceded, but 3 dot balls and 2 singles means 6 off, and 8 overs remain, 271 for 3. Hafiz is 77, Sarfraz 33. What have you spotted, Michael?
Yeah, I'm just looking at Archer. He's got 3 remaining, 8 overs to go in the inning, so he's going to bowl 3 of the 4, you would think, from the pavilion end.
Let's just have a look at what's left bowling-wise.
Wood's going to come on now.
Wokes has got 4 left. He's been expensive today, Chris Wokes. Archer 3, as you mentioned. Moeen has bowled out. Wood. Does he have a look at Rashid?
No, they won't go with Rashid.
No.
5 overs and all for 43. I think I'd be amazed if they go with the leg spinner against Pakistan, who hit him nicely.
Well, from Archer, Wood and Stokes, you've got 9 overs left, so that is plenty, with 8 overs remaining. So it's which way round that he deals with them. Wood in conversation with Owen Morgan and Chris Wokes right now at the Redcliffe Road end of the ground. No breeze has picked up a touch more. There's still plenty of high cloud and blue sky over in the distance as the cars back up along the A453 just to our right hand side. A lot quieter than 9 o'clock this morning.
Yeah, he's still test smart, Wood. He's not played a great deal of cricket. To bowl to a field like this with all the 4 fielders up on the offside.
Well, he's accuracy key here, and that
short
leg side boundary. Now Morgan's moving a deep cover in, and up comes deep square to orthodox. So it's intriguing to see what line he bowls. Mid-off up inside the circle. Radar's got to be right. Well, here's Wood, kicks his heels, runs away from us from the Radcliffe Road end, gets flicked away and should be 6. It is 6. A long way back into the new stand. And that leg stump Yorker that Wood was aiming for, well, it wasn't far away, but Hafiz with those quick wrists lofts it high. 10-12 rows back in the new stand, over deep backward square. Pakistan 277 for 3, Hafiz to 83.
So that's really bad bowling, because you're hitting to the short side. That's a little flick down that side. If you're going to bowl the Yorker at this end, it's got to be wide of off stump, hitting to the bigger side where you've got cover point, 3rd man back.
Yeah.
To get one onto his pads with the field that he's got set with, he's just brought square leg up into the circle.
See, my thought, Michael, is that boundary where Hafiz has just says it is so short. You've got to bowl wide Yorkers.
Yep.
Outside, you know, almost on the blue wide line. That's going to be a line. Protect the offside boundary. And what they're doing is now putting a short 3rd man, a wide earther, maybe on a gully line down on the boundary edge, a deep cover, and now long offs coming back. That's better. Fine leg has come up as well. Wood past the umpire, bowls outside of off stump, gets driven, and just going to bounce once to Johnny Bairstow on the cover boundary edge as the sun pops out again. A single taken, 278 for 3, but that would be the line I'd choose. Protect your short boundary, and then cover where the longer boundary is, get them hit towards there.
Yeah, and also, you know, you don't want to be bowling full pace all the time, so it allows that glance, because that can travel anywhere. Fine legs going back to Sarfraz and Wokes up into the circle at mid-off.
Sarfraz waits. Wood charging in, slightly slower delivery, nicely bowled, because it was round about the top of off-stump line, but with pace off, and Sarfraz just dabs it into the offside for a single. 279 for 3. But I'm with you. I think that now long off is going back, fine leg is coming up.
See, to this kind of tactic, when you know the ball's going to be wide, you see someone like Hardik Pandya for India, he goes right over outside off stump with his right foot, almost like a 1.5 yards outside of off stump.
Wood kicks his heels, showing red soles on his trainers as it's been driven uppishly out towards long off, and Woakes again. Well, England in total have been sloppy in the field, but Woakes takes another super catch, this time to his left-hand side, tumbling over as he does so. And it's the end of Mohammed Hafiz, who goes for 84 off 62 deliveries. Wood makes the breakthrough. And on a day where you'd say that England's fielding has been shoddy, Woakes has been a shining light. 279 for 4. And Hafiz departs.
Yeah, we saw him take one running to his right earlier. This one to his left. Makes it look very simple. He times it nicely, Hafiz. Probably another 5 yards to Chris Woakes' left, and it would have been one bounce 4. That's a key wicket, because someone in like Hafiz, that could be a 20-run sway in the game. 84 from 62. Strike rate of 135. Straight away from ball one, he danced down to Moeen Ali and smashed him down the ground over the top. So his intent was very clear from the ball. First ball. Asif Ali striking out there. He can hit a ball as well.
Well, this is Asif Ali's first match in Pakistan colours since the death of his daughter. 18 months old, died of cancer, and obviously went back to Pakistan while the rest of the squad was here for the funeral. In fact, it might have been over in the US, but of course, terrible personal tragedy for Asif Ali. And outpouring of support, of course, for his situation. But he's back for Pakistan now, and he can really launch it. He's a big striker, very powerful hitter. And he joins Sarfraz, his captain, who's 34, not out. Batsman didn't cross, interestingly, so it's going to be... Oh, sorry, they did, as Sarfraz waits for Wood. Mid-off is up in the circle as a Yorker. A big appeal for LBW here. Mark Wood's convinced that Sarfraz maybe shuffled across his stumps a little bit, but there's no reviews for England. And so Sarfraz stays 93 miles an hour from Mark Wood.
Yeah, it's like a slingy Wakar Yunis style delivery. Just dip back into Sarfraz late.
I'm not quite sure. I think someone on the boundary edge is having some fun with the crowd.
Jason Roy down at mid-wicket.
It is. Just a little bit of crowd engagement as Wood powers his way short and wide and quick as well from Mark Wood. He's really raced that through. Sarfraz was a little bit too late on it to try and nudge it down towards third man, and it concludes the over. So 6-1-1 wicket and 2 dots. So a bit of a highlights package of a over from Mark Wood, but he has removed the all-important Hafiz. 279 for 4. Andy Saltzman.
Hafiz is 84, 62 balls, 2 sixes, 8 fours. His highest score in World Cup cricket. And he's only the third man over the age of 38 to make 80 in a World Cup match, after Tilakaratne Dilshan and Sunil Gavaskar. And the partnership 80 off 59 balls. And after being dropped, Hafiz added another 69 off 50.
Yeah, key jump. Sunil Gavaskar, I've seen him here today, working for Star Sports.
Is he around?
Yes, he'll be on the pitch at the interval. Nice suit on his Sonny, looks very smart.
They've all got matching suits, I think, the telly ones. Here's Archer to continue from the pavilion end. Balls tickled away by Asif Ali. Now Sarfraz wants a couple, and he's gone for the second one. He's going to have to be quick, but the throw is at the wrong end from Johnny Bairstow. And I thought it was Asif Ali who was struggling to make his ground. Sarfraz always wanted to, and the throw came to the non-striker's end rather than the batsman's end, and Pakistan collect 2 in the end quite comfortably. 281 for 4.
Yeah, if Johnny had, if he'd hit his arm.
Oh yeah, good point.
John Farage actually could have caught that and whipped the bails off as well, so a little bit of lapse. But if he'd have thrown it to Joss Butler's end, he'd have been miles out.
Yep. 4 in the offside ring again for Archer. Lithely comes towards us, bouncer, and let go by Asif Ali, and it's a wide, and Archer again pleads his case to umpire Erasmus, but the signal came from square leg. Mr. S. Ravi thought that was too high.
Just a few shrugs of the shoulders. Moeen Ali at mid-off just gave it a little bit of, how can that be a wide? You know, there's a few little things that you're seeing in the England field today that we didn't see against South Africa.
282 for 4. is Archer. Very straight run up, slower delivery, edged down towards third man. Got quite a bit of top spin on it as it reaches Adil Rashid. Like a Federer forehand, it was a thickish edge from Asif Ali, but he manages to pick up a single, 283 for 4. You could almost hear the fizzing of the ball off the outside edge as it was spinning towards Adil Rashid. Fielded well today, actually, as Rashid on the boundary edge. Sarfaraz, busy and combative at the crease, moves back in the crease and guides this to the right-hand side of Adil Rashid this time. And again, they'll think of 2 and they'll get it as well. As Rashid runs to his right by about 15-20 yards and then gets in the throw, 285 for 4. But this is good from Sarfaraz. 2 1s, 2s, just working the ball. It's the type of cricketer he is.
Yeah, he's busy, and he's that typical keeper. Always active, always manoeuvring himself around the crease, never quite sure what he's thinking of doing.
Archer again, full delivery, it's smashed out at mid-off, got to be quick. No, Moeen Ali holds on to the ball as no one was backing up. Or everyone in the deep was a little too deep to back up, so he did the wise thing and keep hold of it. So another single taken. Sarfaraz to 37 from 34, 286 for 4. And when and if Asif gets hold of 1 or 2, you listen to this crowd. Spider cam swoops from left to right in front of us as Archer bowls a slower delivery, and there he goes, up and over, cover point, 6 runs. Short, slower ball, just had enough width for Asif Ali to free the arms and get the elevation that he wanted, and it clears the boundary by 3 or 4 yards, and Pakistan closing in on 300, 292 for 4.
Yeah, the slow ball into the surface. He waits and waits, and it's the width with all those fielders up on the offside. Again, it's the line. It's not a great line by Jofra Archer.
His response forthcoming as a bouncer is a quick one as well. And evading violently is Asif Ali, just dropping the shoulder and then turning away as though there was a wasp round his head or something like that. And now 6 overs remain, 292 for 4.
Well, you'd want 60, the last 6.
Yeah.
6 wickets left, and someone like Sarfaraz in, Asif Ali, you've got Shoaib Malik, Shadab Khan to come.
I mean, the thing is, England will back themselves to knock any target off. But when the pressures are slightly different in a tournament such as this, rather than a bilateral series, be intrigued to see how they go about it. Don't forget, throughout this tournament, we'll have a daily TMS World Cup we'll have a daily TMS World Cup podcast, that available to download tonight. You're back on the radio, Tuffers and Vaughan. Here's Mark Wood to continue from the Redcliffe Road end, and this is hit straight to mid-off, and Wokes just can't make it. It falls short of him. It was clothed by Sarfaraz very high up the bat, and it tempted and teased Chris Wokes into trying to make the effort from mid-off, but it was just a little short for him to make his ground. And diving forward awkwardly as well, he now moves out to long off. Single taken, 293 for 4.
Yeah, well, finally it's going up in the circle, mid-off's gone back. Asif Ali, I think I'd want to have the short, sharp bouncer in my locker. Saw the way that he played that last bouncer from Jofra Archer.
Well, fine leg is up inside the circle, as is square leg as Wood bowls wide outside the off-stump, a slower delivery, and Asif Ali played it about a week and a half too early as the ball bobbles through to Joss Butler. So you're back on tonight, Tuffers and Vaughan, 5 on 5 Live from 7 o'clock. Special guest you have
Prince Harry. Well, he'll be coming as Sam Billings.
Sam Billings is on tonight, and that, don't forget, will be available as a podcast tonight and every Monday as well. So catch up with Philip and Michael 5 Live tonight as a Yorker is attempted by Wood. It gets thrashed out towards long off, and Wokes slightly mishandles it, allows them to come back for the second. Awkward one for Wokes. He was running in, he held a hand of apology up towards Mark Wood.
Yeah, but this sums England's day up in the field, Charlie. You just don't and haven't seen that often with this England fielding side. The statos out there, they'll be telling us, I'm sure, on the television how many kind of England have given up in the field, but certainly been quite a few with the drop catch, plenty of fumbles, a few dive overs.
Just saw it on a replay that Wokes, you could see, was looking up to where the batsmen were as it clanged him on the wrists. Didn't even get a hand on it. Well, Wood has been very tidy today. 1 for 45 off 8.5. Deep square's gone out. Third man comes up as Asif Ali waits for Wood. It's a bouncer, and he swings and misses. Wood falls over in his follow-through. 89 miles an hour from Mark Wood. But again, very good over so far. 1.2 dot. I think he's been tidy today, Mark Wood. Spells have been good. He's bowled, this is his third spell. First one, 4 overs for 13. A little bit more expensive in his following 3 overs. Went for 26. But he's coming back well. Long off goes out again, as does third man, as Wood bowls, and it's been flat batted straight back past him. Chase on out in the deep by Stokes, who fields brilliantly, sliding on his knees and hurls the ball back, but Asif Ali still manages to pick up 2. And Pakistan 297 for 4.
Yeah, that's brilliant from Stokes. Running round to his left.
Well, he thought about handing it off to Chris Wokes, didn't he? And Wokes had to duck as Ben Stokes hurls it over where the line of his head would have been.
No boundaries so far for Pakistan in this 45th over. Been a good one by Mark Wood, just 5 from it.
33 on his back, bowls a wide-ish delivery, and that's a good ball because making room outside of the leg stump was Asif Ali. Looks towards umpire Ravi, but he's given no sympathy as the ball was inside that blue marker.
Well, he went too soon, didn't he?
Yeah.
He offered his stumps too soon. He went probably a yard and a half outside of leg stump, and Wood saw that. Again, this is really good bowling because that's what you have to do towards the end of an innings, and imagine running into bowl just 5 from it. 297 for 4. Just 5 remaining. You've got to watch the batsman. Mark Wood watched the batsman. He saw that he'd gone leg side and he just threw it fast just inside the guideline.
So 297 for 4.
Spidercam's getting involved. He's getting down
isn't
low, isn't he?
Yeah. Just swooping
Nice
to
little
short,
ramp.
fine leg.
Yeah.
Archer to continue from the Radcliffe Road end, and it's full, driven hard into the turf by Sarfraz, and they just counter a single. It's not quite timed it.
Yeah,
Asif Ali back on strike. 298 for 4.
Sarfraz has tried to strike it down the ground a few times, and he's just leaning back, getting no kind of base to get the power. I think he'd be better off trying to play the trick shots, you know, the ramps and the flicks, and kind of opening the blade through the offside. Different style of player to Asif Ali. Will we see that short, sharp bounce? Well, mid-off's going back on the boundary, fine legs coming up, so you'd suggest not. Unless he's trying to trick him into thinking it's going to be fuller and then firing in the bouncer.
Maybe the bluff's on. What does Archer do? Towards Asif he comes. It is a full delivery, which is tickled off the toes and out towards deep backward square. 2 England fielders in pursuit. It's Bairstow who picks it up, and another single taken. 299 for 4.
Well, these next 4.4 overs could decide the game. We saw the Bangladesh game yesterday, and the last 4 overs went for 50 odd.
They bowled poorly, South Africa,
Yeah, they
in
were
the death.
poor, but again, it was just a huge momentum shift. It got them to 330, defended it nicely. And Pakistan can have a similar finish. 350 is going to be a very difficult chase.
Archer towards us, and this is high on the bat. It's going to fall safely from Sarfraz as the ball trickles out to square leg, shy at the stumps at the batsman's end, but Sarfraz manages to get back. It was a short ball. He tried to pull it, and it's 300 for Pakistan. 301 for 4, and because of those 4 fielders on the leg side boundary, if he pulls it, mistimes it, that's fine. It's going to go into space, and it's also going to allow them to come through for a second.
Do you reckon it's half and half? Pakistan's support and England? There's a lot of Pakistan support here today.
I mean, all of the Pakistan support pretty much doused in green shirts and Pakistan flags. There's another short delivery, swatted away high in the air. It's going to fall safe again as it lands at cow corner. The throw comes in at the non-striker's end and almost cannoned onto the stumps by Chris Wokes, by Owen Morgan, who was coming in from extra cover. But again, it's another couple of runs. They're not finding the boundaries perhaps, but picking up 2s with regular occurrence. 303 for 4.
Yeah, I'm just looking at that though. Jofra Archer should have got back to the stumps. It'd have been an easier take for Jofra Archer. Owen Morgan had to sprint. Just little things that you're seeing with England in the field. They've just not quite been on it. Jofra Archer and his follow through realised it'd gone too long on. If it had got to just in front of the stumps, easy take, whip the bells up, probably would have been a run out.
303 for 4. Sarfraz on strike, 43 not out. As Archer approaches. Slower delivery lofted over the top of mid-off. One bounce, two bounces, and over the boundary edge. Almost collides with that camera, remote control camera on the wheels on those little tracks that they're spanning the boundary. Rover cam, there we go.
Did you have an electric car? Remote control?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I wasn't allowed one.
When you were young?
Yeah.
I used to have one. I used to have an Escort. I think it was an Escort.
Which series? XR3i?
XR3i, a red one, I think it was.
307 for 4. Sarfraz 3 shy of a half century, bowls again, and this has been cut away. Is it caught, or is it just landed in front of Root? And Root shies at the stump at the batsman's end. It doesn't connect, and he could go for 5. It is. He's just thrown 4 overthrows. England coming apart here. Pressure getting to them. Great piece of fielding it was originally by Joe Root at backward point, but Sarfraz had tried to go for the run. Root then shied at the stumps as he was halfway down the pitch. He didn't connect, and no one was backing up, and he split the field on the boundary. It also brings up Sarfraz's half century in the most ridiculous of ways, and an expensive over 14 from it. 311 for 4. 4 overs remain. More from you, Michael, and then Jonathan will take you through to the close of this innings.
Well, sloppy's the word. England have been very sloppy. Joe Root probably didn't need to throw it, but Sarfraz is well out of his ground. He did. And Johnny Bairstow, I think it was Moeen Ali down at mid-wicket, could have backed it up, and they just weren't switched on. I think that's probably the word you'd use for England in the field today. They've just not been switched on.
Lost a lot of discipline. The way they bowl, they've lost discipline. Some of the field placings have been very strange. 311 for 4. Wood was setting off there to start the 47th over, but that had to pull away for some reason. It's just, I mean, there's been everything, isn't there? I mean, the overthrows kind of, it was the cherry on the cake, really. Bad drop catch. There's been a lot of misfields with ground fielding, and then to throw away the overthrows like that. 311 for 4. Asif's on strike. Wood's on his way. A springing approach. Bowls outside the off stump. Hit hard off the back foot. This should be caught. And Bairstow takes it. Out on the point boundary. And so Asif Ali goes for 14 from 11 balls. And England must take this opportunity just to regroup, to have a conversation, say, come on, these last 4 overs are absolutely crucial here. Got to regain our discipline. Nice catch from Bairstow, both hands above his head. He turns around and says thank you to the crowd who are applauding him.
Yeah, well judged. It was a good strike actually. Asif Ali, I think he got it pretty much out of the middle of the bat. It was a slow ball, so no pace on the delivery from Mark Wood. Good catch, diving high to his right. Sorry, up to his left. It was quite high in front of there's a few England fans in there giving Johnny Bairstow a good clap, but there's lots of Pakistan support. They're making all the noise. 23 balls remaining in this innings. Shoaib Malik, again a clever player, good striker. Can they get another 40, Pakistan? 350. Doesn't matter how good you are. #1 team in the world, been an incredible run of form. To chase 350, that's never easy.
Well, they haven't played like the #1 team in the world so far in the first half of this game.
Sarfraz Ahmed's 50 came off his 40th ball with those 4 overthrows. That counts as his 5th boundary. It's his 13th score of 50 or more in ODI cricket, 2 of which he's converted into hundreds. Against England, he has 105 other 50s in just 13 innings. He averages 65 against England with a strike rate of 99.
So 311 for 5. 1 ball into the 47th over. It'll be a delayed interval. It should have been should be starting now actually. So Morgan might be in trouble again for a slow over rate. 311 for 5. In goes Wood, and he's there now, and he bowls very full. And the first ball, the Shoaib, is clipped away out to deep square leg. Root throws the ball in on the bounce to Butler.
That's how you explain to a new cricket fan that a team can play on this pitch. Just 3 days ago and get bowled out for 105, and then 3 days later 312 for 5 with 22 balls remaining.
I can think of something really original that you say that no one's ever said before.
Pakistan.
It's a funny old game.
The other Pakistan arrived today.
Well, they did. They did. 312 for 5. Here's Wood. Bowling to Sarfaraz, who steps away to run that down to third man, going for a quick single.
Hold on to it.
They're going to get there, and Rashid deciding, probably rightly, not to throw the ball around.
Sarfaraz was disappointed with that, because Rashid is there for that kind of shot, but there's plenty of space beside him on the right and the left to just kind of glide it down to that vacant space.
Just an example of what I was talking about, though. There was that Stokes over where he had 3 men out on the leg side. It was when I just handed over actually to Charles, and there was a deep fine leg, deep square leg, deep mid wicket, mid on up. So he bowls full, he gets hit over mid on. So they then bring the man up, drop mid on back, and he bowls short and gets pulled for 4. I just don't understand the logic. There's another one down a short third man, and again they're just going to take the run. As Rashid again really only has the choice of hurling at the stumps and giving away an overthrow. So nicely played once more. It was just kind of, the logic was just very confused. 314 for 5. I know there's a lot of bluff and double bluff involved these days, I get that, but it's rather summed up the day for me. 314 for 5. Wood on his way to Sarfaraz on 52. He's played so well, he hits this down the ground firmly, and it'll be Stokes coming in off the boundary below us, just to our right here, who fields that on the first bounce. One more to Sarfaraz, 53 from 42 balls, the Pakistani captain, who would like to have bowled first today, he said at 10 o'clock. I'm not so sure now.
No, I understand. On a few games in the game at Cardiff, New Zealand versus Sri Lanka, that looked a bit green, and Fafty got it wrong yesterday.
Wood over the wicket, bowls short of a length as Shoaib turns him away into the leg side. They try and get 2 here if they can. 3 fielders coming in, and they're going to make it as well. It's perfect.
I just wonder, Agnes, if teams will reevaluate what they're going to do at tosses, because these pitches are dry.
That's the end of Mark Wood, by the way. 2 for 53 from 10 overs, brought into the side today in place of Liam Plunkett, and he bowled at a good pace. Has picked up those couple of wickets. Mohammad Hafiz for 84 and Asif Ali for 14.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see as the tournament progresses whether teams start to bat first and try and make full use of the. I don't think the pitches are ever going to be as such where it zips and moves and swings all over the place. But I think underneath anything that you see, saw the oval that first game, I thought that was a good toss to have won. But it did a little bit, and England played smart cricket to get to 311 and then defended it. Bangladesh defended yesterday. Now, if England chase down this easy in 40, you say, no, always ball first.
Well, they're going to have to play well, that's obvious. 3 overs to go. Chris Woakes hasn't had the best of days out there. 6 overs, no wicket for 50. And he's coming on now to bowl the 48th over, and he's bowling to Sarfaraz. It's full, driven away down the ground, a clubbing sort of a drive. They'll try and get 2. Shoaib setting off, the throw comes in, and I think he's made it. He has. Although the throw wasn't bad, it came in on the bounce. It might just have stopped a bit because the outfield's a little bit soft.
Yeah, I just wonder if Jason Roy could have seen that Sarfaraz was struggling and could have thrown it to the keeper's end. I mean, it's a long throw, but see Ben Stokes do that kind of thing regular from long on. He flings it to the keeper's end.
Shoaib didn't even look, he just turned and ran for that second, going for the non-striker's end. Woakes again, bowls short. Oh, Sarfaraz should be caught here. Surely someone's going to catch this. Woakes comes through and takes it himself. Slower ball, and it completely deceives Sarfaraz, who is setting himself for a big hit. But that ends a very good innings by Pakistan's captain. Really has played well. 55 from 44 balls. A lot of giving himself room, stepping away to the leg side, freeing his arms at that one. Well bowled by Woakes, completely deceived him, and he just spooned the ball in the air for Woakes to take the catch. So 2 relatively new batsmen they'll be at the crease end. Good news from England's perspective, but they'll keep coming in and playing shots, I imagine. And Sarfaraz departs a very good 55.
Well, I've sent out there Wahab Riaz. He does like to whack the ball. Yeah, he can hit a long ball.
He played well the other day here. Actually, one of only 4 who got double figures against the West Indies. Different story today. 319 for 6 in the 48th over.
Yeah, looking at 16 balls remaining for Pakistan. Can England reduce Pakistan to 335? I think they'd take that. from this position. What you don't want is a real cameo, someone to come in like Wahab Riaz and get 15 from 4 or 5 balls.
Shoaib's on strike. What have they got here? Interesting field. Long on, deep mid wicket, deep point, fine leg. Who's got to come up because they're now putting back a deep point. So fine leg has to come up to the circle because there's also a third man. So
what do you reckon the over rates are? I mean, it's a clean slate, I guess, at the World Cup, is it? I mean, Morgan missed that game, didn't he?
I have to ask, yeah. I think, does he start from a clean slate again then? That's the question. I have to find out, but they're way behind. 319 for 6. In comes Wokes, bowls to Shoaib Malik, and it's going to be a wide, and a big wide too, really, down the leg side, especially with a fine leg up. I mean, there's a lot wrong with that ball. Didn't get it right at all. 320 for 6. Wokes goes back to try again, and I must say there's a lot more noise at 2:05 this afternoon than there was here last time I was here at the Pakistan game at about the same time. It was all over. Here's Wokes coming in and bowling, and Shoaib flicks him away off his pads, probably only for 1. So Bairstow throws the ball on the bounce through to Butler. And that brings Wahab Riaz down on strike. Won't be subtle, I don't think. Well, he might try and perhaps get a couple in the bank first, but he does play some shots, this fellow's an aggressive cricketer. You know that with the ball in his hand too. 321 for 6. 3 balls remaining in the 48th over. The sun's still with us, but as Simon King predicted, a bit more cloud around now than there was earlier on. Wokes on his way, comes in, bowls, and Riaz gets 4. Another poor ball, I'm sorry. That's leg stump.
I reckon it's a long way outside leg stump. Wahab gives himself space, and Chris Wokes tried to follow him. He gives him pace on the ball. It's just an easy glance, going well down the leg side.
Yeah, it was well down the leg side. You're right, I was being generous with leg stump. 325 for 6. Riaz again. Wokes over the wicket, moves in, bowls to him. Is it high? He's going to be caught by somebody at backward point, coming in saying it's mine, mine, mine. And Root takes the catch. So Riaz goes down fighting. It's a short and sweet second ball for 4. And England again. Importance of taking a wicket here. And, well, there's a chance that Pakistan might just drop short of where they'd have wanted. But there's still going to be a sizable chase for England.
Yeah, well, they've still got Shadab Khan to come out.
Yeah.
Who's a wonderful all-rounder. Simple catch for Joe Root. Yeah, you send someone like Wahab Riaz who's going to try and strike 6s, and he gets 1 or 2, you think great. Gets out after 2 balls for 4 again, 200 strike rate, you'll take that. Good from Wahab Riaz. Shadab Khan, 13 balls remaining now. Pakistan, you'd be delighted with 340.
It's Hassan Ali they've sent out, I think, by the look of it.
Oh, right, they have as well. How bizarre. He's a genuine all-rounder, Shadab Khan.
Yes.
He obviously don't feel he can strike boundaries.
Yeah, so Hassan Ali's appeared. It's 325 for 7. The ball to go in the 48th over. Looking at the options available. What bowling has he got to finish off? No, there are other options for that far end. Archer's got 1 left. Stokes has got, so Wokes doesn't have to bowl the last one. Yeah, he's had a bad day, really. It becomes again now. Bowls to Shoaib Malik. Way outside the leg stump. Tucked away into the leg side. He'll want 2 if he possibly can. They'll come back for it. They will get their second. As Stokes there hurls the ball in for Wokes to collect. The stumps are broken, but the batsman's home. And it's 326 for 7 with 12 balls remaining in Pakistan's innings. Archer's going to bowl at this end, which means it'll either be Stokes or Wokes who bowls the last over up at the pavilion end. And Archer 9 overs for 69. He's been expensive today as well. I mean, it's just not been a good day for England today at all. Pakistan have obviously bounced back extremely well, but there was a bad misfield in the first over of the match by Morgan. Ball went for 4. And I remember him pounding the ground with his fists. And I'm afraid has rather set the standard today for England in the field. They haven't bowled well and fielded well, dropped catches.
Despite that, there has been a niche fielding record set by Chris Wokes.
Ah, OK. We'll have that in a second. In goes Archer to bowl the penultimate over. The first ball's tucked away down to mid-on, coming in briefly. Stokes coming in great at the edge of the circle now. Throws up at the far end and dive, and he's in. Full length he was there, Hassan, and very well run too, because we know Trent Bridge isn't a big ground.
Yeah, but what I'm surprised with Hassan Ali, he almost delays himself going for the second, so surely at this stage you're just going, aren't you? You don't even have to consider a thought process, you're just getting in and out.
32 runs off the last 3.1 overs. They have lost 3 wickets in that time, but they rattled along. 329 for 7. Hassan on strike. Archer bowls to him. Just pushed away off the bottom of the bat out to cover.
4 catches for Chris Wokes today. He's the first non-wicket keeper to take 4 catches in a one-day international for England.
Ever?
Yep.
Any one day.
Is that right?
Yep. It's the 38th time an England field has taken 3 catches, but the first taking 4.
Just every now and then you just surprise us, Andy. Thank you. It is only every now and then. 330 for 7. In goes Archer again. Bowls a slower ball, well bowled straight through Shoaib Malik there, who's lining up something hostile. But, pace taken off 72, I think it's, of their miles per hour. Third man up. Well, there are 2 third men. So one's a deep slip, really. Quite an unusual position, that. Third man behind him. Fine leg is up. Archer bowls again, running his wrist over that, and that man actually almost taking a catch there. As that goes down to third man, another fumble, but he recovers.
Should have gone for 2 there.
Yeah,
Malik needed to keep the strike.
They'd have got it as well, I think. 331 for 7.
The last few overs have been pretty good by England.
Archer's got 2 balls left. Hassan's on strike. It's 331 for 7. Archer runs in smoothly, very easily. Bowls a short ball outside the off stump that Hassan might have got something on, actually. He was always trying to do it in the end, maybe hit into the leg side, but he missed it anyway. Another change of pace from Archer. 331 for 7. Archer no wicket for 73. With a ball to go, and then looking to see who's loosening up, whether they keep Wokes going, because he is loose. So he's not had a good day. I can't see Stokes going through much of a warm-up routine. 331 for 7. Then goes Archer. His last ball is smashed for 6. Over long off. What a shot that was. As it leant back. It was up there, and that's come flying off the middle of the bat. Spread over Wokes' head. The ball's come back for him. He's going to come and bowl the last over. Excellent shot. Another slower ball. This is why that short third man I was telling you about, and fine leg being up, it rather does suggest that virtually everything that Archer bowls will be the slower finger type delivery.
I'm surprised by that delivery, though. I guess when you think the ball before was a short, sharp bounce, he didn't get anywhere near it. The Yorker, just at the start, second ball of the over, only went for 1, and I was gambling that he was going to get him out with that ball. Hit it straight down mid-off. Well, it's gone straight over the top. 337. Pakistan, I'll be thinking 13 off this last over, get to 350. Good hand speed, Hassan Ali. No wonder he's coming ahead of Shadab Khan. That's why.
I think he's answered that question. Archer, 10 overs, no maidens for 79 runs. Expensive today. But then, England generally have been well below their best. They've been so disciplined. And that has largely been lacking today. It's the start of the last over. Wokes has bowled 7 overs for 60. Has taken 2 wickets. And taken 4 catches, as we know, and here he comes, and that's hit high again. He could take a 5th catch. He's not going to get there, though. It's somebody else will come in from cover and takes the catch, clutching on. It's Morgan. That was up there a long time, and so it's the end of Shoaib for 8, caught by Morgan, coming in from cover.
It's a good catch. It went high, and the wind blowing across the ground as we look from right to left. When it first went in the air, Morgan was on the 30-yard circle. I think he thought it was going to come straight to him, and he had to run 10 yards because of the wind. It blew it back towards the pitch. Good catch by the captain. Shadab Khan, he's joined us. He's number 10.
He's got 5 balls to go. So look at the time. It's 17 minutes after the supposed end of the innings. I think the match ref might have a word about this. It's Jeff Crow. Anyway, for now, I think I want to get through this over and go and think about their run chase. Hassan Ali's on strike. Wokes comes in, bowls to him and hits him. A short ball, hit him somewhere on the body. And it's fielded down at third man. Now, there's no signal from the umpire there. Where'd that come off then? He went for the pull shot.
Come off the helmet.
Well, it was helmet, but I didn't see a leg by.
Came off the shoulder, straight onto the helmet.
Yeah.
Maybe he thought he'd come off the glove.
I think he did.
Gave him a run.
Socrates Shadab can make a name for himself here. There's 4 balls to go. 3:38 for 8. Wokes bounces in. He's there and he bowls short. And he's going to get 4. Another short ball. Another boundary.
Yeah, I think that's unfortunate, I guess, when you've got your 4 fielders on the onside like Chris Wokes has. He bowls a slow ball bouncer, so he's bowling to his field and just gets a bit of fortune. Shadab Khan, top edge over Josh Butler.
Feels like it's that sort of day for England today, if I'm honest.
It does.
3:42 for 8. Wokes again over the wicket, moves in, bowls to Shadab, who hits that down the ground to mid-on. They'll surely get for the second here. He's got to come in. No, they don't. He was a bit tighter there, got in very quickly. Oh, they've got an overthrow. That was a throw to Wokes, who went to stop it one-handed and didn't take it cleanly, and there's another run. Needlessly given away.
Yeah, it has got that feel, hasn't it?
It has got that feel. The wheels are just loosening a bit here, and England have got to pull themselves together.
Well, they've almost got to forget what's gone in the field and get themselves back in the dressing room. So, right, forget that.
Yeah.
Got to get the bat in hand. Can't affect the batting.
Shadab's on 6. Here comes Wokes. Bowls to him, and it's hit hard back at Wokes, who fields that one-handed. I'm afraid Wokes has to get the blame for that one there, because it wasn't a great throw. It came in almost on the half volley from Roy. But you've got to get something behind it. 3:44 for 8. Here's the last ball of the innings.
Just that 5% in the field where you've just got to be on it all the time in this era, in any era, but you've really got to make sure that your mind's always switched on. It just looks to me like England have switched off at key periods today.
3:44 for 8. Well, Shadab can still get the 350 up if he hits this for 6. Here comes Wokes, bowls to him, hits it straight down the ground. A great howl from Pakistan supporters. It's gone for 4. What a performance by Pakistan when you consider the absolute shambles they produced here against the West Indies. They've put England, I must say, to the sword here. England really have not fielded well, they haven't bowled well, and they have a lot to do if they are going to win this game. Shadab 10 not out, Hassan Ali 10 not out. And that's just looking at the body language there of England walking off. I'm afraid they know that wasn't anywhere near what they're capable of producing. And Owen Morgan looking tight-lipped as he walks off. There's not many high fives around. There's a sort of the obligatory sort of little tapping of hands as people walk off, but not much celebratory about that. And Morgan leads his players from the field. Michael, that wasn't great.
No, England have had an off day in the field. You know, they really have. It's not really been anything like the England side that we've seen over the last few weeks. The positive that they have to take, if they knock this off, it'll be a message sent. You know, this is gone, fielding's gone, bowling's gone. Weren't at the best at all. Pakistan, brilliant. That opening partnership was the key. After being bowled out for 105, they had to come out and get some positivity early, and Fakhar Zaman and Imran Ul Haq did that. Hafiz was really the star. He came out and played a risky game, but it got the momentum going towards Pakistan. And with Pakistan, get lots of skill left armers, sharp Shahid Khan, the leg spinner. You know, there'll be a bit of off-spin there from Hafiz and Shoaib Malik as well. We've seen a few.
They have got some options there.
Yeah, they'll fancy this Pakistan, as they should. I mean, if you get 348, you fancy your chances of winning.
Yeah.
Pitch is pretty dry, but England have got a great chance of sending a message. You know, if you can chase down 348 on a pitch like this when you've fielded poorly, bowled, you know, below your par best, well, I think that's a strong message to chase. But it's going to be some challenge, because Pakistan, as we know, in these kind of conditions, with this kind of support, with a noise that's going to fly around the ground, I think we're in for an entertaining afternoon, Jonathan.
We are, Michael. You go and grab some lunch. We're going to hear from Mohammad Hafiz in a second. He's just lining up down there, I can see, with Ramiz Raja, so we'll bring you that. Then I'll give you the bowling figures, which aren't really very nice looking at them. There's some pretty high numbers there. Wokes went for nearly 9 and over. So I think we can go in a second anyway, and go and hear from Mohammad Hafiz, who plays so well. 84 from 62 balls. He had his first ball for 4, and never really looked back from that moment. And England are going to need 349 to win this match. Conditions are good. The sun's shining. There's a bit of cloud around, and I can see Mohammad Hafiz, and here's Ramiz with him.
I believe it's the same Pakistan team that we saw against the Windies. What turned it around for you guys today?
Well, I think self-belief is the key. We all know, like, you know, we can handle any situation, but on that day, I think we missed that couple of wickets, couple of bad shots. But I still believe, like, you know, we are good enough to handle anything.
It's a formidable score against any side, but against England, do you think you've got enough?
Well, to be very honest, the pitch is not the same. It is holding up a bit. Spinners is getting a little bit more turn, a little bit stoppage. There's a little bit for the seamer also, so I still believe, like, you know, 348 is a very good total to defend.
What made it work for you with the bat today?
Well, positive intent always, because I always wanted to play according to the situation, and that really worked for me. I just saw the situation and kept going. I didn't thought anything else, just wanted to attack on the bowler, and it worked for me.
Did a fantastic job. Well played.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
He did indeed. 38-year-old Mohammad Hafiz made 84 today from 62 balls. There's a light roller going on the pitch. That'll be England's request, and again, just an indication that they don't want the heavy roller on there slowing things down anymore. So you can often read little nuances by just little illustrations like that. Just a very light roller going up and down, being wheeled by the groundsman. We've got lots of children coming on to entertain us during the interval as well, which will be half an hour. So I reckon it's around about 10 to 3 is when England's innings will start. So make sure you don't miss any of that. In a moment, we'll hear a special feature on the art of leg spin as Jos Buttler turns interviewer to talk to Adil Rashid. I heard this the other day. It's really good fun, actually. But first, we'll check on today's other cricket action. Kevin Howes is at Guildford, where the county champions Surrey are playing second-placed Somerset. News of that, Kevin, and all today's other scores, please. Good day to you.
Yeah, good afternoon to you, Jonathan. Yeah, important game. Still early stages of the season, of course, here, but Surrey defending champions without a win still. They've had 3 draws. They've lost a game, and obviously would like against Somerset, who are one of the front runners of the season, to get a good result here. Well, Somerset won the toss, elected to bat first today, and it's been pretty hard going actually for the batsmen. They're 134 for 4 right now, and we've just seen a half century for George Bartlett being brought up. Now, Bartlett was dropped on the very first ball in the slip, so a little fortune maybe to escape that, but he's batted nicely. As I say, it's not easy, but he's batted well to get himself a half century. Just ended a partnership just a few moments ago of 95 runs with Tom Banton, who went for 44. So as I say, it's not easy, but Somerset trying to grind out as many runs as they can in the first innings here at Guildford in what is an important game. There are 2 other matches in the First Division getting underway today, one of them in Birmingham, where Warwickshire 18